Welcome along, this is Art Radio Transmission, speech and arts radio for Kent. It's great to have you along with us, and we're going to be talking to Steve from British Gas. It is Dementia Action Week, and Steve's going to be talking a little bit about how he works with his customers regarding dementia. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us. If you could just introduce yourself to start us off, that'd be really good.
Of course. My name is Steve Crabb. I work for British Gas, and I'm responsible for customers who need extra help, so who may be vulnerable for reasons of being elderly or having small children, having disability or serious mental or physical ill health. So it's my job to better understand their needs and find ways to serve them better.
And of course that's relevant at the moment. I was hoping you could tell our listeners a little bit more about what you're sort of involved in and doing particularly at the moment.
Yes, well, so this is Dementia Action Week, and for the last 2 years, British Gas has been working to become a dementia-friendly organisation, and that's happened in lots of different ways. One of the key ways in which we've tried to become more dementia-friendly is by encouraging as many of our people as possible to become dementia friends. That's a national programme run by the Alzheimer's Society on behalf of the Department of Health, and it's basically a sort of learning package that helps people to get a better understanding of what dementia is and how it affects people and how we can all work together to help people with dementia to live well for longer in their own homes. But for a company like British Gas, that's really, really important. You know, we know that across Kent there are more than 21,000 people with dementia today. Across the whole of Britain, 850,000 people are living with dementia, and of those, a third of them are living alone in their own homes with dementia. So for a company like British Gas, you know, supporting those customers, helping them to stay well and safe and warm in their own homes for as long as possible is really critical. It's critical to those customers because the longer they can live in their own homes, surrounded by familiar things, it's the better for them. We know that slows down the progression of the disease, whereas going into a care home or a hospital, you know, often can accelerate the progression of dementia, and that's the worst thing for the individual concerned and for their family, and also for all of us, you know, for the NHS, because it's so much more expensive for people to live in care homes than it is for them to live in their own homes, and that's why it matters for a company like British Gas to understand the needs of customers and to be able to be there for them when they need it the most.
And I suppose, you know, managing financially is one of the problems, and you know, obviously managing things like gas bills. So is that where you kind of come in to help?
Absolutely. So we've got something called a Priority Services Register. If a customer tells us that they have dementia, say, then we put them on that register, and that means that we just look out for them that bit more carefully. So if we see that they're, you know, that they've not paid a bill, or that we haven't had accurate meter readings from them for a while, you know, all of these things can be triggers, and you know, that we will look out for to make sure that they don't fall into arrears and that they are on the right tariff for them, that they're on the right type of payment plan, and that they get access to all of the different forms of financial support that they are entitled to. But we need to know about their condition in the first place, because if they don't tell us, then you know, we won't be able to provide the support that we could do. So we've had 10,000 customers with dementia come forward in the last 6 months alone to let us know and to be added to that register. And we're sure that there's, you know, more customers out there who need our help, and the more we can find out about their individual needs and circumstances, the better we can support them. And, you know, it leads to things like better quality conversations. If you're on the phone to a customer who you know has got dementia, you know to be a little bit more patient and to understand why they may struggle to remember, the odd word, or to remember what it was that they called you about in the first place. And similarly, if you're an engineer going into a customer's home to service their boiler, say if they've got a home care policy, then you will take a little bit more time to explain how the thermostat works, to remind them how to use their smart meter, and just basic things like making sure that when you arrange an appointment with them, that they've written it down somewhere, maybe put it on a post-it note on their fridge so they don't forget to be there when you call.
So I guess that's the thing, you want to make our listeners aware that you can help them, because initially people always don't tell people how they're sort of suffering or problems they've got, and even friends and relatives to try and help out. Not realising that you could actually help, and you've got the knowledge of the sort of problems and assistance people might need to deal with those problems, especially gas-wise.
I think that's absolutely right, Daniel. As Brits, we are often a little bit sort of reserved about what information we share, and it may not occur to people that an energy company like British Gas wants to know about this stuff because we want to be able to help. It's better for us. It's better for the customer if we are able to provide that help early on, rather than further down the line when they may have got into trouble. So, and I think a lot of work has happened over the last 10 years to break down some of the stigma that people used to associate with dementia. And they used to think about it as something shameful. Now, I'm glad to say that is really changing, and people are seeing it as a disease like cancer or heart disease or anything else that can be managed, and where you can live well with dementia if you get the right support, the right help, the right treatment early on. And so it's not something to be hidden away. It's better out there where you can get the right support to help you to live well for a long time.
Was there anything else you'd like to cover or get over to our listeners, or of course anywhere where they can find out more information on what you're doing?
Well, over the last 12 months, we've been working with other utility companies, with leading telecoms companies, water companies, and also with other energy companies to produce guidance on how to be dementia-friendly if you're a utility company. And that was published in February and is available from the Alzheimer's Society website, alzheimer.org.uk. And it's as relevant for the one man or woman in a white van as it is for the largest utility company. So we would really urge anybody who's involved in plumbing and electrics, in telecoms, in energy, to take a look at that guidance, because there are some practical case studies from British Gas and other organisations there on things we've done that really work. And so that would be a key message. Take a look at the advice on our website, britishgas.co.uk, particularly for the Priority Services Register. And as I say, the main message is, tell us. The more the customers can tell us about the help that they need, the sooner we can crack on with providing that help.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out today to talk to me.
Thank you, Daniel.